Clumsy Cooks, welcome to the first color burger video. This is going to be a series of 6 videos, and here are the times. Alright guys, so first off we're going to make a little hole over here for our yeast. Now this was about this much water and 2 little teaspoons of sugar, and look just how much my yeast has grown. So that means it's ready to be thrown in here. Good. So after mixing it a little bit, I'm going to add a little splash of olive oil, and then we have here our green colorant, which I didn't have green colorant, so I had to mix blue and yellow, and I believe this is a dark color, but don't worry because once it's baking it will reduce the color. And I am also cracking an egg. Oh shoot, you don't want to have shell on your bread. Okay, so I'm cracking an egg over here. If you ever get the question, just how much salt? The answer is yes. So I don't know, I usually use half a teaspoon. Now this is a little bit of parsley, and we're gonna mix this up. Now something that I've come to learn is that if you feel it is a bit dry, but it is not breaking like too much, it may just need to develop some gluten. So we're just gonna keep on pushing this as I am doing it, and if it's not too dry, it should end up looking good. So it's after a while it's looking like this. As you can see, it's not breaking that much anymore, but it's still not perfect. So I'm just going to add a little bit of oil, and hopefully that's going to help. Now we're just going to let it rest over here and cover it with a towel, a dry towel by the way. So, sleeping time baby. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start softening our dough. It grew, I forgot to record when it was, grown. So now, let me show you guys. Alright, so now that we have this looking like all stretch, I'm just going to drop a little bit of spinach. I want this to be crunchy, and I figured out this is going to be a good way to do it. So now I'm just going to, I guess, kind of like make a taco out of this, and I hope the gluten hasn't developed enough to the point where I can just make this back into a dough ball. Oh, I believe the gluten has. Okay, no problem. This was never an option anyways. So, technical difficulties. So now that you have achieved the unachievable somehow, you're gonna let this rest again, cover for another, I would say, 20 minutes. On the meantime, get ready because this will go to the oven like 15 minutes, and then the burgers must be ready. Alright, now look at how much it grew, and we're going to start preparing our buns, and for that we obviously need to grease our tray. Always grease your tray and add some flour. We're going to pinch a piece of the dough and roughly estimate the size. Remember, this will grow again in the oven. I mean. So like this is a very small ball, and I have to grab a little bit more. And I don't know if you can see it, guys. I don't know if the camera is capturing it, but look, it's amazing. There's a whole lot of spinach on the dough. Okay, so that means it mixes good. And some people like to roll balls out of this, like circular and all that. Me, I don't know how to do that, and two, don't think that's gonna work because this is very sticky. So let's go with the more rustic shape. and I believe I'm gonna grease my hands because it's the same as the tray. It's important for you to grease them or you'll end up with everything sticking to your hands. Now that we have these beautiful green almost buns, you should measure them properly at home with the, by weight and all that. But then again, I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna put this into the oven about 15 minutes maximum at 375 Fahrenheit. I'll leave the Celsius up here, or no, actually I'm gonna leave everything on the description, so don't worry about it. Alright folks, now it's time for the meat. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to season this meat with a little bit of lemon pepper. Now I can tell you this brand that I'm using already contains enough salt, so I'm just going to use this little rub over here, and I'm going to let the whole thing absorb the flavor for a little while. Alright, so the last step for the meat is to pretty much divide this in 4. So we're going to make 4 patties for the 4 breads, and I believe it will kind of look like this. And then we're just going to, make a circle out of it, as much of a circle as possible, and then we're just going to push it down and try to maintain a relatively small size, because I don't really know how big these buns are gonna be. They are still on the oven, as you can hear. So we're going to take this, and into the pan it goes. Alright, so now the next part is we're going to devein a jalapeno, and we're going to start cutting some slices. Some little pieces, I don't know. We're dicing it, I guess. And the smell of the jalapeno is one of the best smells that nature can give you. So we have this. We're going to grab half and we're going to infuse it on some cheese. The other half we're going to use for the burgers later on. So I am using a little dash of olive oil in order to infuse this jalapeno on the cheese. What you want is to have your jalapenos covered with this little oil, and that way the flavor is going to come out into the oil. And I feel like I'm using the word oil too much in this part. You can drop your cheese and start melting this on top. Now you're gonna want to lower the temperature. Guacamole is only crushed avocado. Meanwhile, pico de gallo, that's different. That one has tomato, it has onions, and recommendation for everyone watching: always salt your guacamole, because is it even? Oh yeah. So always salt your guacamole, because avocados are not salty like at all. Alright, so you guys know, all the times, every single time I find that something was done weirdly. So this kind of looks like a burger bread, right? Up to a certain point, but watch this. Now what the hell is this, man? This is the weirdest burger bun I've ever seen in my life. So I believe it's still a little bit too hot. This one is, yeah, that feels good, I think. Let's open it up and let's see what's on the inside. Oh my, it's so soft. Like, I wish the last time I made burger bread it was this soft. Now we can see it's completely cooked, but it's quite soft, quite a texture. Alright, so let's start preparing these buns, shall we? Burgers. And it's not as small as I thought. Mmm, tasty. Hey, guess what? I don't have any lettuce, so I'm gonna have to just go with some good old guacamole on top. And then I'm just going to sprinkle a few jalapenos over here. These are almost turning red. I think I used them on time. And now let's go for our cheese. At least two of them do look like they're actually colored burgers. So I guess it's time to taste them. Alright, let me show you what's going on here. And here I go. Mmm. So, my Clumsy Cooks, what can I tell you? It's a burger, it has jalapeno, it has guacamole, it has even some lemon pepper. So, yeah, that's amazing. Please do try it and share your pictures if you do.